We're talking with Jeff Check, and he is a representative from the Occupy Pittsburgh movement. Jeff, it seems to me that, as I recall, the police were not going to do any action against the Occupy movement of People's Park until there was a ruling by the courts, and I understand that has happened. What do you see in the future?
Well, sometime tomorrow, that's Monday, we'll probably get word that, it's time to go. We were given 72 hours for Friday at noon, so that's Monday. Basically, what we're looking at is a lot of folks are packing up, cleaning up the camp today, trying to, make sure we leave it as nice as we can. And, a lot of folks will, depart from the camp when asked, and others may take alternative courses of action. It's really up to the individual.
What are some of the other actions that might occur, sort of post-encampment teardown?
Well, right now we're planning on a rally on next Saturday, marching rally for healthcare for the 99%. And we're looking at more actions coming up around public transportation, because we're about to lose a lot of public transit here in Pittsburgh, because the state keeps cutting funding to the public transit, buses, light rail, and things that help people get to work and to the grocery store, to the doctor. Really unnecessary service here in Pittsburgh, and a lot of folks are going to lose the ability to commute.
The general public seems to think that the Occupy movement is dead. Is it?
Not at all. In fact, I think that the Occupy movement is still very new. It's only 6 months old at this point. So we're looking at we had our rush on to the scene. We're undergoing a metamorphosis. We're changing. We're growing. It's going to have a different face in the future, I believe, anyway. But it will still be there, fighting for the 99%.
Will the metamorphosis appeal more to the general public, perhaps, than it has?
I think that it will appeal to people who don't want to be outside in the cold all the time. I think that we're going to have more of a broader appeal as we move away from the focus on the encampment and more towards the issues. I think that people will find it to be more accessible. I think that there'll be a lot less confusion, because I think that the media's done a poor job of portraying what Occupy is actually about. They make it about tents and people and being out in the cold and dirty, and that's a demonstration. It's a demonstration for the rights of the 99%. We're getting ruined economically, socially, by a corrupt government under the influence of corporate control. So once we can actually remove the camps from the picture, I think that people will start to understand what the issue actually is.
I've been covering the movement since it started in the park in Pittsburgh, in Market Square, and I've always had the impression that the people who are involved in Occupy Pittsburgh were not the way that Fox News was characterizing the movement. You folks many of you are very educated, very dedicated, and you've done a lot of contemplation about what the issues are, contrary to what, again, the mainstream media has portrayed. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the world about the future of the movement?
I guess, as far as the future of the movement goes, just don't count us out, because we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to occupy, beyond a space in downtown Pittsburgh or a space in any metro area. We're occupying these issues. We're occupying discourse. We're occupying, the election. We're occupying our country.
So in other words, it appears from what you say that you may be the antithesis of the Tea Party movement. I don't know that that's necessarily true, but
I don't see that as accurate, only because we're not going to incorporate with one set of political candidates, one political party. We're strictly opposed to that. It's actually in our introductory statement as Occupy Pittsburgh. But we will rally around the issues. We will rally around whatever comes up in debate. but we're not endorsing specific candidates. We're not running for office ourselves.
It might be a strategic time since the presidential election is coming up and the Republicans are fighting each other. So it would seem to me that probably a little more emphasis on politics might be a good thing to tell both sides, if you will, or all sides, that you folks are still going to be there and that they can't escape the issues. Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that then it's a good time to focus on the political issues, just not the political candidates. That's something that we're not interested in working with at this time.
Is that because there might be kind of an inherent distrust of the system as it is, no matter what the party?
Absolutely. Absolutely correct.
Tell me more about that.
Well, you know, in the way the system works right now in the United States, to get elected, you have to have access to a huge amount of money to run a campaign. That makes it impossible for regular folk to run for office and get elected unless they're willing to sell themselves to some corporation in order to fund their campaign. Other than those folks, it's people who are already in the upper earning brackets in the United States, who are already part of the 1% or attached to the 1% in their personal lives, that are able to win in office, especially in a national election or to the House or Senate. These are not ordinary people. They're already connected. They're already tainted. If they're not tainted when they get there, they will be soon, because they have to focus on getting reelected. And it's all about money.
I notice you have a 99% pin on you. Do you think that the 99% understands that?
Not yet.
But they will.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, sir, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Apparently, the occupation, Mellon Park, or as the occupiers call it, People's Park, will end tomorrow. A court order has been issued by Judge Christene A. Ward, ordering that all who participated in the Occupy movement leave as of Monday. And as you can see, there are preparations for removal of the camp. Many people are leaving. The communications tent is being torn down. Some may not go so easily, and the Sheriff's Department of Pittsburgh will determine whether they will be forcing the removal or whether they will be patient. And only we will see tomorrow if that occurs. Thank you for watching. I'm Ford Schenkel reporting from the People's Park.